Meet my co-hosts, Nick Best and Akim Williams. We're going to have some amazing guests on the show. Buckle up tight, because we're going to be talking about the shit you're not supposed to be talking about. We're going to be discussing anything and everything it takes to become a Legend of Iron.
Legends of Iron is brought to you by MuscleMeds, the creator of Nitro Test. Nitro Test is hands down the most fucking kick-ass pre-workout on the market. The question is, can you fucking handle it?
Welcome to another edition of Legends of Iron. I'm Jon Andersen. With me always, my partners in crime, Nick Best and Akim Williams, who's actually on the way. He's on his way home from an appearance, I believe, in Arizona. His plane got delayed, but he will be here shortly. We have got a massive show for you today. When I say massive, it's because we've got the most fucking massive bodybuilder on the planet. 360 pounds with abs. That's right. I said with abs. Generation Iron has called him the biggest freak bodybuilder on the planet, which I have to agree, because this is a guy, when I stand next to him, I feel like a little fucking bitch. And yes, I said, I feel like a little bitch. Craig Golias, you are fucking massive. Welcome to the show, my brother. How you doing?
What an introduction, bro.
You deserve every fucking word of it, dude. You are one big son of a bitch. There's no questions about that.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, brother. Doing good, man. We're excited to talk to you about all that you do, you know, coming right out of the gate, man. One thing that's I got to have you talk about. You're massive. You're massive in a way. You got a massive house. Everything you do is big. Right along with the fact that, you know, your ladies in your life, you don't just have one, you have two. Now, granted, I understand that.
Wait, John.
Not all
he's got two. He's got two?
Yes, he does. One is not enough for big Craig Golias. He's got two girlfriends. I know, as I understand it, it's not always, but most of the time, this big guy, it takes four tits, four big butt cheeks. Well, you can imagine the rest, but that's what it takes for this 360 pounder. So, Craig, tell us a little bit about how this works, because most men on the planet are kind of dreaming about the life that you live on a regular basis with your female. So talk to us, brother.
Yeah, about that. I dated a girl, she's a super bi chick. So you know how that works, man. It was just cool with me having fun with her girlfriend too, because she had a girlfriend as well. So, it has its pluses and minuses, man,
Well, obviously we know the pluses. We know what the pluses are.
What are the minuses on this?
Yeah,
where do you have a problem?
Well, when one gets pissed at you, you know how it is when your girl's like yelling at you, like blah blah blah. Can you imagine two at once, man? It's a little more, But yeah, we all know, there's a lot of pluses, but there can also be minuses. Just like
yeah, absolutely. Well, brother, you're big and you do it in a big way. For people that don't know Craig, he's very successful away from being 360 pounds with abs. He's got a monstrous fucking house in Las Vegas. Tell us about that. I know you just remodeled it. You got a fucking pool in the back with a goddamn lazy river. Tell everybody what type of fucking pad you're living in, my brother.
Yeah, for sure. So I've been here 2 years now. And, I was looking for a house for a year, and, it took me a whole year to find a house because I was so picky with the backyard. I had a vision of like waterfalls and palm trees, and I wanted like a crazy like oasis of a backyard, just something I always dreamed of. So I finally found one, but the house kind of sucked. The inside was kind of like, it was like a little outdated, So I said, I'll do a little flooring and a little this and a little that, but I ended up going way overboard, and I just like completely recreated the whole house. So it took about almost a year to do too, you know, like little projects here and there. Yeah.
So when you were trying to buy it, you were really looking for the pool that you wanted. That was the important part. You were planning on just getting the layout with the pool and then fixing up the house.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it was, man. It was more just the finding the house in the backyard. But now I'm starting to realize that maybe I shouldn't have gone with the crazy backyard because there's always problems with it. You know what I mean? Like when you have a pool that big, like my pool guy was like, hey, Craig, I'm going to need 400. Oh, okay. Hey, Craig, I'm going to need 600. Now this last time, Craig, I'm going to need 1,500. I'm like, bro. He's like, dude, it's like, what was I thinking? Oh, yeah, I had a girl in my ear. Can you imagine all the girls in the pool in the summer?
Okay, let's remember, you had 2 girls. You had 1 girl in each ear. That's what made you do it, brother. Shit, you were outnumbered. Oh
my God.
Yeah. Well, expensive shit. It's costs a lot to maintain, which brings me to my next question. We have a similar taste in cars. You're a Porsche guy. We were talking not too long ago. You were kind of joking about, holy shit, man. My last car didn't cost $400 for an oil change. Buying this expensive shit's the easy part. It's maintaining it. Sounds like your pool's the same way. Tell everybody about your rides, brother.
Yeah, man, you were right. So, I just started getting into the car game recently. I'm not going to lie, man. I was actually looking into the Lambo SUV. I was gonna trade in the Porsche and the Escalade and get that ride. But, I was like, man, I don't know. I think it'd be cool to have 2 rides. You know what I mean? So yeah. I stayed away from that. But maybe next year we'll see. Yeah, right now I got the Porsche. And I just got getting the 2022 Escalade. I should have that any day now. I'm just waiting.
Nice.
Which took 6-month wait for that, by the way. Those two.
Yeah. Yeah, having multiple cars is cool, but it gets expensive. Shit, man. We got 4 fucking cars and 2 people in the house. And it's like, geez, yes, it's a little less maintenance. They're not getting driven as much, but even when they're sitting, it seems like something will go wrong in these fucking expensive cars,
Yeah, man, no, absolutely. The Porsche, for example, it's a newer car, and it failed the smog check, and I'm like, why? It's got like 6,000 miles. So I took it to the dealership, and they're like 4,400 and fixing. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, it's a newer car.
Hold on, back up. Your brand new Porsche, the Panamera, the one that we have the same, right? This one didn't fail. It failed the smog. Is that what you said? It failed smog?
Yeah, it failed smog, but it's not new. It's an 18, but it has.
Excuse me. Forgive me. Yeah, low mileage car. Forgive me. Yes, but dude. So you take it to Porsche and they say it's going to cost $4,400 to get it to pass smog?
No. It passed smog. They said it was something small that they took care of that. They said, hey, Craig, they said, hey, Craig, there's a couple of things that need fixed on it. I'm like, I had the car a year. Like, I barely drove it. What the hell? I put like 3,000 miles on it. So yeah, I see where you're coming from for like, you just drive it down the street and, shit's going wrong, but luckily, the Escalade's got 0 miles. So hopefully I don't hear shit about that for at least a year,
Well, yeah.
Didn't Jay Cutler just get one of those Lambo SUVs?
Yeah. What do you guys think about the car? Let me give you my opinion. I want to hear both of your opinion because I was really debating it, man. Because it is a showstopper, but I don't know, man. I feel like for $260 used 260K, it just doesn't look that crazy from the outside. It looks more like a chick car, it doesn't look as loud as an actual Lambo. What do you guys think?
I tend to agree. When I first saw him come out, I thought. The Lamborghini SUV. Yeah, when I first saw him come out, I just thought, man, it just didn't feel like it fit into the Lambo family,
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you agree, Nick?
No, I agree. It doesn't fit the family.
A normal fucking Lambo, you can't help but to stop and look when that fucker races by.
Dude, but bro,
The thing will
none of
stop
us,
traffic.
none of us.
Totally. But
Yeah.
so you forgo. I think you did the right thing by going past at least for that kind of money for a car that doesn't turn heads. I think well, shit. Didn't you tell me the Escalade you're going to get's like a $120?
No, dude, almost $150, man, with the upgrades.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, that's insane.
Kind of a rip.
Oh, fuck. Well, let's shift gears here, brother. So one of the things that's really, I thought was really cool about you is that you're out all the time. There's people take pictures of you in clubs, but you don't drink. Talk to us a little bit about that. You mentioned you feel like you have an addictive personality, but did something happen to help you understand you have an addictive person? I mean, for me, I found out real quick the first time I got fucking hooked on painkillers. What happened to you?
I never tried it, man. I think it was something to do with, my grandparents raised me from first grade on. And from what childhood memories I can remember were like my parents fighting and beating each other up and always drunk and messed up. And, they hurt my sister by, they were playing tug of war with my sister and they broke her leg. Oh. And the cops came and took us away. And, we were going to go to foster families and, we were going to go to foster families, but my grandparents stepped up and took care of me and my two sisters. And I just told myself, man, I don't ever want to be like that. I think that's where it came from, and also on top of the addictive personality, I see people drinking, and it seems like when they drink, they're having fun. They're going into another world, and why would if I drink, I feel like I'd want to be in that world every day, why would I just want to drink occasionally if it takes you to this awesome world, like with me, I feel like I'd always want to drink. So I just told myself, don't even try it. You don't have to worry about that,
No shit. So you've never, ever had a drink in your whole life?
Never.
Wow. That's pretty fucking honorable. What do you think, Nick? You don't meet many people, especially in the world we live in, that have been, completely free of any sort of recreational substance, even alcohol, especially,
It's probably less than 5 to 10% of the population that hasn't tried alcohol in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty rare to meet somebody who hasn't done that. Especially, I sold alcohol for 18 years working for a beer company. So to find people that haven't really tried it it's kind of crazy.
But, Craig, you and Nick have something pretty big in common because, he's been in the pro strength world forever. And he goes many surgeries, many challenges, but never uses painkillers. So you guys have that in common. That's pretty cool. Yeah. It's very honorable for both of you guys. That's cool.
Nice. Yeah. It's like one of those things where if you go down that road and you get addicted to it, it's a heck of a road to hoe to get off of it. I had to watch my stepdad deal with that growing up, and he's still on opioids. 35, 40 years later, he's got 4 fused discs in his vertebrae in his back, and he's always in constant pain. So he can never get off of them, and it's pretty sad. And I just don't want to be that way. I don't want to be dependent on him. Yeah. There's other ways to fight pain. There's other things you can do, and I do those.
So, Craig, no painkillers, no nothing. You're basically substance, other than PEDs. You're pretty much substance free, correct?
Yeah, just gear, bro. Just gear, man. That's all I've ever done. Yeah.
Good for you, brother.
Not even a cigarette.
God damn. See, when somebody looks at you, especially in the club, they don't know this about you. I think it's really important for people to understand that there's a part of you, that discipline, that stays true to who you are and doesn't get pulled off track.
I don't judge drinking. Like, for instance, the 2 girls I was dating, they drank every freaking night. Like, my boys drink. Like, I'm not opposed to drinking. It's just something I don't look down on it. Like, that's what you want to do. Go. It's something I've never done.
Yeah. Well, let's shift gears to some fun shit here, brother. You have had some monstrous lifts. I know that, tell everybody in terms of like your incline pressing. This is pretty fucking impressive. Wait till you hear this, Nick.
I don't know if it's that compared to this guy.
Dude, that's impressive to anybody. So spit out some of this stuff.
For bodybuilding. Yeah, no, I've you know, I don't know if I'll ever have those days come back, man, because of my nerve damage in my arm. You know, I can't press like I used to. But yeah, I mean, you know, some of my impressive lifts, you know, I say 405 20 times incline.
Yeah, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah,
yep.
That's
nuts.
315 29 times.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, brother, you're talking to, I mean, I was in the strength world, that I went into sports entertainment for wrestling and now bodybuilding. Mm-hmm. Nick has been in basically professional strength athletics for 25, 30 years. And when you got a guy that's been in the game that long saying this is fucking impressive, there's no question about it. Those are fucking monstrous lifts, brother. You know?
Yeah, 405 for 20 on an incline is absolutely nuts. I mean, completely insane.
Yeah. So going in further, you've never, all these crazy lifts, you never ever had injuries until you had the issue with your nerve, which we'll go into in a minute. But you did all of these heavy training, free weights for years, and you never had a single injury. Is that right?
Never in my life.
Never pulled muscles.
Nothing.
See, that's like isn't that, Nick? That's a genetic thing going on there. I mean,
yeah, that's genetic freak.
Yeah,
but I just got the king of injuries, man. Like, dude, I would took like 5 tears over this one, bro, because like, you know, this was kind of life changing for me, man. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you know how well you guys follow me, but I haven't done a bulk in 12, 13, 15 months. It's been since I did a bulk. I've been let
me interject real quick, brother. I mean, granted, because even when you're not bulking, you look fucking massive. So most people look at you and think that you're fucking bulked. They just don't know that you can carry another. They just don't understand that you can carry another 40 pounds and still look good. So,
I mean, so what do you bulk up to? Like 400, 420?
No. I try to keep it as tight as possible. That's my thing, man. Like, once I see the abs starting to go, man, I chill. But the biggest I ever got was 360, 362.
Massive. Absolutely massive.
Yeah, fairly lean, fairly. But you know, when I come down, like right now I'm TRT, you know, so I'm still 330, you know, but you know, I'm a lot, pretty fucking lean right now. Everything's like, but the thing that, you know, that I've noticed when I go TRT mode is obviously, you know, the strengths, my arms and legs will shrink, you know, as weird as that sounds. You know, everyone has those body parts when they go TRT that kind of just, you know, shrink a little more than usual, you know, for me, it'd be my legs and arms. But, you know, that freaking arm injury, you know, I've been really.
Tell everybody what happened. Tell everybody what happened.
Yeah. What did you do?
Yeah. So first and only injury I've ever had. I'll never forget it. I was shrugging 5 plates. And I was shrugging. I went up. I think I twitched. Like a little bit. I like twitched like maybe my neck, and it pulled a nerve up my back. And my back went into some crazy pain for a week, and then it went away, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm okay. But what really happened was it caused nerve damage that spread from my back into my right tricep down in my forearm, and I lost like pretty much all feeling in my arm, and I was freaked out. I couldn't even do tricep pull downs, man, for like 30 pounds, you know. And I'm like, okay, something's wrong here. I couldn't feel my tricep was like, it was shrinking, and I had no feeling in it. And I'm like, this is serious. But I was like, okay, I probably have to get surgery. But then I saw this chiropractor, and he was like, Craig, no, we can fight this. I was like, well, I'd love to fight it because I don't want to get surgery, you know? So, you know, just to fast forward, it's a long story. Just to fast forward, you know, I'm probably 65% better now. 65, I'd say. The arm is a little bigger now. You won't still see me out angling anybody.
Dude, even at 65%, man, you're gonna out angle anybody you stand next to. Not to mention you got the art of out angling down to a science.
Yeah. So did you get an MRI on it? Did you see exactly what's causing the problem?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, it was just nerve damage. Yeah, well, I got an X-ray. And they just said it was nerve damage, and I just had to do like all this chiropractic work and exercises for it. And I coach this guy in LA, and he's he sent me this nerve damage cream and these pills, and I think they've been helping, man. I've noticed a difference. I definitely don't feel no more numbness, so that's really cool. But I'm just praying that comes through, man, and we get better and better and better.
Are you using an electrical stim machine?
No, never.
Dude, you got to get an electrical stim machine for that.
Nick, it sounds like it's really inflammation based, because when it gets the inflammation down, the numbness goes away, which then starts the rehabilitation process.
Right. The electrical stim machine will get blood flow through there without putting a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah, it's something you might want to look into.
That'll help a lot.
Yeah.
Are you talking about are you talking about that people use at the gym? That like they put
they put it on its electrodes and it kind of makes them flex as they're trying to train. Yeah, but it's like the home version of that. Yeah, it's a TENS unit. Yeah.
You can get them right on Amazon, brother. So they're pretty cheap. I mean, I use one. That's one of the things that we share with the only injury you have. I have basically a nerve that's not firing properly. It's been that way for a decade, and I use the stim machine, a lot of different things. But we lost him.
Oh no! Oh no!
His camera's still there, so we know he's coming back.
Dude, he needs to go get an MRI. I'll bet he's got pressure
here
from a. There he is.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see that. Open that thing up.
Yeah, open it. Let's see it. Because I got a Pro Mark, and that thing works really good. Because they hit my nerves when they did my surgery for my lat to reattach it.
Yeah,
and the whole back side of my arm was numb.
And the little pads, right? That's the pads that you stick on, right, Craig?
Yeah, actually, a client he gave this to me. I just never used it.
Yeah.
You think I should?
Yeah. Every day, 3 times a day. 3 times a day, 15 minutes. Set it up as the highest setting you can handle. But my guess is you got a disc or something in there that's putting pressure on the nerve that's causing the problem. Yeah. I would, and no amount of chiropractor is going to get rid of that.
Okay.
It's going to be like any inflammation stuff, things like that are going to help that area. I would go get an MRI and see exactly what area, what nerve's putting pressure on that, and then find a way to relieve that pressure. And it might be doing some muscle strengthening in other areas, because if you're in a shrug and you come down like that or lift up and turn, it sounds like something got compressed. I've had 8 compression fractures on my spine. So I've had,
he knows.
so yeah, I got a really good idea how to pinch him and how to get over it and stuff like that. But first you got to find out exactly what area is compressing on that nerve that's running down there. And so I would definitely go get an MRI and look at that. I mean, they're not cheap, but if you got decent insurance, it'll be a couple $100. It won't be bad. And then they're gonna have fun getting you in the MRI too.
Oh yeah. You're gonna have to go to one of the ones that put the NFLers in there because he's so big.
The open air ones. Where the machine goes around you.
That's
it. But to do that, no amount of manipulation, twisting, or turning you is going to fix that. It's going to be one of the things where you got to figure out how to get the pressure off of it. And once the pressure's off of it, it's got to heal. And then once it's healed, you'll be fine. So, because the disc as it is disintegrating in certain areas will eventually turn to scar tissue. And then whatever you have from that point on, that's what you'll have left. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
so I would
definitely need to look into it more.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because you should be able to get that back 100%. Should be
There you
able to.
go.
I would love to. I would love to go back to normal mode, man. You know, and get huge again. You know, I
Get huge. Only
Yeah,
330, man.
Yeah, 330. One of these days I'll be huge again.
Well, it's relative. He's just speaking in relative terms to himself, which makes it so funny for the rest of everybody else in the world. You know,
Yeah.
I love it. Well, so we were talking about
awesome.
training, brother. The second part of my question was that you went from free weights to all machines. Was this part of the reason that you did that, or talk to us about that transition?
Me?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I don't do machines, man. More hammer strengths. You know, I like the hammer strength a lot.
Forgive me.
know?
So I shouldn't have said machines. You went from straight free weights to more controlled free weights, like the hammer and things like that. Was this injury part of that switch?
No, I just honestly always liked those machines a lot, man. I feel like I can contract better and still go somewhat heavy, you know?
Yeah. We probably got some, obviously, with the size that you are, you can do those machines without taking the risk. So it makes perfect sense, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. But I am for, free weights. If you want to put on that size, man, you definitely got to start off weights to build that foundation first.
Yeah, nobody's going to get a chest like you have on a hammer strength machine. They got to be doing 20 reps on a goddamn incline.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, the machines, obviously, from a standpoint of creating physique, you can put a lot of stress on a muscle and really focus on that muscle versus, say, other disciplined strength athletes. You're trying to just move the weight rather than just burn up the muscle. So with you got some massive body parts. Tell everybody what your favorite exercises are for, say for chest and arms and things like this, because most people look at you and they want some training tips.
If you want that upper chest shelf around a 9K, you gotta go hard on the incline, bro. You got to go heavy and you got to go hard.
What's the 9? The 9K is clearly an adjective. Tell us what that is.
Bro, I wish I knew myself, man. I kind of just go with it,
It's just, so what's the opposition to 9K? If 9K is good, what's the opposition of 9K? What's the term that you use? 5K.
5.
Okay. 5K and 9K. I got you.
We're not trying to do the 5K shit over here, bro. We're only going for 9.
So why was it only 9? Why not fucking 99 or what was the idea with 9 and 5? How did those two numbers get developed?
Bro, I wish I knew, man. I wish I just kind of happened one day and I said it like, just be stupid, and it just blew up with my followers. And they're like, Craig, 5 or 9? I'm like, 9, duh.
That's perfect, dude. That's fucking perfect. So on that level, God, we got to keep going with this one. You do some fucking funny shit. You capture some weird shit in the gym. Like tell us a little bit about, you got a whole set of language with you catching people in the gym doing weird, like the chicks trying to make themselves look like they got an ass and stuff like that. Talk to us about that.
Get that. That's called the get that selfie boo. Yeah, you know what to do. That's not what I call it. But
this is good shit, brother. This is straight up good shit, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love it.
So, story time. So a week ago, I posted a video. Did you see it, bro? On my story, where I go up to this guy and I say, bro, what do you know about that over there? And it shows this lady, and she's got to be like, I'm gonna say 60, and she's fucking going off dancing, bro, in the middle of the gym. And then she looks back. Yeah, she looks back and she catches me, and I go, oh, busted, And so it turns out, sometimes I forget, how high my following actually is, because it turns out like 5 people sent that to her, and she was not.
Oh no. The one that I saw fucking made me laugh my ass off is you're in some sort of a clothing store and you walked up to the front with a fucking swimsuit and you asked the guy, you said, "Do you think this will make me look good?" Or what was you remember? And the guy just looked at you like, "What the fuck is going on here?" What was that one about?
I said, "Do you have this in a 5X? I'm trying to look sexy."
That's right. That's right. That's right. Oh, I love it.
That's a legitimate problem. I mean, do you have to have, like, if you get like regular nice clothes on to go out and stuff, most of your stuff's going to have to be tailored, isn't it?
All of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have somebody here in Vegas that does that for you?
Same for you too, right? You're a big guy.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lady named Carrie, the suit maker, that makes like suits and stuff like that for me. She'll measure your traps, your witness, the thickness of them. She'll measure you for like an hour, but when you put on her suit, it's like putting on a glove. It's one of the most amazing things.
I'll have to check that out. I don't really wear dress. I try not to.
This is great. You know when you made it when you're creating your own language. This is fucking beautiful. So tell us. I know there's some other great ones in the gym. Like you have what you have these little sayings that when people are doing the gym. The one you just explained was funny as hell. There's a few more. I know there is. What are the other ones?
Hit a peak check, hurry up. That's Cutler's favorite.
Yeah.
H2O flow, set. Dude, there's just a lot. Are you even huge?
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Yeah. Is that so? What was that? So go a little further and tell us about some of the I guess you'd call them pranks that you play on people, like in grocery stores and shit. This is good stuff.
Yeah. So I've been chilling out more on it because when Corona happened, you can't really fuck with people, when Corona. So I kind of stopped, but I'll still do the funny drive-through ones, and I'll still mess with. Actually, that's a lie. Yesterday, did you see the one I did yesterday at Starbucks?
I did see that one.
The dude with the purse?
No, tell us what was it?
This was yesterday, actually. I was in Starbucks line, and which, by the way, I don't normally do. It was just one of those one-time things where I was like, I need a fucking coffee. But yeah, this guy was in front of me, dude, like total beard, long black hair, like normal looking, and he had a purse. I want to assume it was just him holding his wife's, but I mean the way he had it like actually around him, you know what I mean? Like it was his purse. So I was like,
a man purse.
Yeah, it was a satchel.
Yes.
I was like, hey,
it's a satchel.
Brown. I'm like, that purse is looking kind of cute on you, and he goes.
Hey, can you imagine, if that was your flavor, and you were swinging from that side of the plate, if you come up and hit on somebody and they actually, didn't swing, he was probably shitting in his pants, man.
Yeah, he was probably just like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? So when even though you're not doing the stuff in the grocery store with Corona, you got to tell people what you were once doing, because this is fucking great. I mean, don't get me wrong. Once in a while, I'll throw some in. I just don't do it as much as I was. But yeah, I just used to go to the grocery store and I just like grab like a box of oatmeal or Oreos or whatever, something stupid. I just go up to a stranger and be like, hey, yo, bro, is this going to get me huge? And then you put their phone and you just look at the reaction. And the reactions are always, and people would just laugh, because like, they'd be like, like sometimes they'd be stunned and they just sit there like, but if you guys want to go check out some of my funny videos, just go to my Instagram page and go to my highlight. I saved a bunch, like right under the bio. Yeah. I posted it. Oh, there. You'll get some good laughs of what I'm talking about.
Dude, my favorite one is where you take something and you throw it from like fucking 40 feet away and you land it in somebody's cart. That's the fucking best one.
That's the flow throw.
The flow throw. See, here comes the language. There we go.
Flow throw. I'm old, so I got to learn all this new stuff.
Yeah, I used to take water. I used to take bottles of water, the small ones, like the little tiny ones.
Yeah,
and, that's what she said. And I would take them And I would just looking like from a distance, like a swoosh. And like 9 out of 10 times I make them. I have a pretty good throw.
The flow throw, baby. The
flow throw.
So, brother, take us back in time. Obviously, you are literally you've been deemed the biggest bodybuilder on the planet for years. Take us back to when you were young. I mean, you've always been in pretty good shape. I mean, you had a great physique even when you weren't training. So, kind of take us down a quick timeline from then until when you started to compete, and then you competed for a while, and then decided it was just time to make a great living off your physique. Give us that timeline.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, I'm not the typical, I wasn't the typical jock in high school, like going to the gym, playing football, dating the cheerleaders, hitting that 9K peak. That wasn't me, bro. I was,
here we go, baby. I love it.
Natty peak. I was the dude with the long hair down to his chest, and the lip ring, and I was playing music. I was in metal bands, I was doing shows, still in high school, opening up for national acts. And that was my life, was music, man. I was a musician. I wanted to be a musician. That was what I wanted to make my life. And
a little side note, sorry to interrupt, but I'm telling you right now, if you were on stage with a band and you had your shirt off and you're fucking crushing a guitar solo, it would be like a fucking viral video in a heartbeat, dude. I mean, that would just be crazy because you can play, clearly. Yeah. I love it.
I'm working on music right now with a couple guys in some pretty well-known bands. I'm starting a little project myself, but it's a really heavy stuff. But yeah, nice. I'm actually working on some stuff right now because I still do music to this day. I just don't really post about it and stuff like that. Maybe a little on my story, but yeah, no, do music. Hey, for sure. I love
sorry for interrupted. So you're young, you're playing, you got long hair, you're fucking thrashing with metal. So keep going.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I was even in a band. We were called Killing His Creation, and we had labels that were kind of interested.
No shit.
And I was 21, and I'm like, okay, finally, stuff is finally happening. And this is awesome. And then it fell through, the drummer just vanished and the guitarist didn't want to tour. So, I'm like, okay, this music thing isn't working. I need to find something new. So that's when, I got hit up by, have you ever heard of Irv Gelb?
Name rings a bell.
Yeah, he was a famous photographer. He shot all the Gold's Gym pictures and Gold's Gym Venice.
Oh, okay.
All of them. So he found me on MySpace and he was like, Craig, I like your look. I want to put you on the cover of a magazine called Reps. You guys remember that magazine, Reps?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. They wanted to put me on the first cover ever. And I just deleted. I didn't reply. I'm like, who's this guy trying to hit me up? I'm a nobody, you want to put me on a cover of a magazine? Delete. So then he hits me up again. He's like, hey, Craig, I don't know if you got my message. I'd really like to bring you to Cali. I think it'd be great for this photo shoot. Delete. Dude, I'm a nobody in Cleveland, and I'm just, I'm not at that level, I'm ripped up. I look good, but I'm like, I'm not worthy, So then he hits me up one more time. He's like, listen, contact this guy, I think you should come to California and live, do bodybuilding out here. So I'm like, okay, let me just try this, so I hit him up and it was Ed Connors. And I actually Ed.
Yeah.
And make a long story short, and I told Ed, I'll think about it. And then I took him up on it and I came to Palm Springs and I left Cleveland to move to California in 2006 of January. And that's where it all began, man. That's where I started, I decided to go the gear route, because I was natty, and try to get huge. And started competing and made California my home. And then, 2 years later, I'm like, this isn't for me. And I moved to Vegas in January of 2008. And I started doing security work out there, because it's a lot better security in Vegas than in Cali.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
There's clubs everywhere here.
Yeah.
So
And
when,
that's
when
your
did
fault.
competing come into the equation?
2007, I did my first show. I did the Cal, and I actually won, my novice class. And I was like mind blown. I was like, what? First place? Like my first show? Against like 8 guys. I was like, that's pretty sick, And then I went and did another show. I got second. I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. Maybe I got something here. And then I just honestly just didn't take it super serious, man. Like I never gave it my 100%, like with the cardio, the gear, the food. I never really gave it my all, man. I was the type of guy that would compete. I'd start cardio 5 weeks out. I wouldn't take a lot of shit, which, we got to, and I wouldn't. And I actually had a pro bodybuilder look at my stack. He's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're crazy, like that's not that much at all. I was just like, I don't know, man. I just never really took it 100% serious, bro, and it shows. I never got like that crazy, freaky, big, grainy look, like the last show I did, I was 278 on stage, which is huge for a super, but I could have been 260 easily. I could have had a lot better conditioning. So I just hung up the towel in 2010. And then I did one more show in 2013 because I had my own supplement line and I needed to get in shape for the pictures. And the only way I would is if I did a show. So that's when I did the LA. I remember I went for the overall against Breon and Matt Porter. How cool is that?
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were coming up when you were competing. You were coming up against some of the guys that are fucking on top right now. List off some of those names, brother.
Dude, Jason Haw, Steve Kukalo, Mark E. Holy cow, man!
That was fucking stiff competition, brother. That was stiff competition.
Rob, that big Rob dude, whatever. Just so many that are like still competing as a pro to this day.
Yeah.
But 2009 to 2010 USA's was stacked, man. I remember being backstage and I was just like, dude, I know all these dudes from social media, It's crazy. Remember Jeff Long, him too? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So many people. So many people. Sean Allen.
2009 was about the time that we actually met, correct?
2010 we met, bro. I made you
2010. That's right. Yeah. No, it's crazy, Nick. You just started being sponsored by them. And I remember they put us, fairly side by side, signing pictures. And I remember you were 25 at that point?
I was young. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember, looking at Nick going, this fucking guy has got some serious fucking shape. And he was just kind of getting out of the gate. He was a fucking monster from the beginning. Not like now. But
right.
He's had a fucking great physique his whole fucking life, even before it was training, So you basically at that point you were mixing it up with some of the best, at the USA's, which obviously made it pretty tough to win that motherfucker,
Oh.
But so basically you decided to hang it up and kind of decide to kind of take your energy into making a living for yourself with that fucking monstrous physique you created.
Yeah, man. Nowadays, bro, you guys know this. You don't need to compete to make money anymore. Those days are over, man. You could just promote. You can just promote stuff with your following, and you make a decent living. You don't need to do strongman shows and bodybuilding shows. You can still, hold your look, as much as possible, just like both of you, you're both still monsters, and you can make money off that, without even competing anymore. You guys are, we did our time, like we're going to be known for that too. There's life after it as well. You know what I mean? Like you can still hold like Jay Cutler, for instance, he hasn't competed long, killing it with it.
Crushing it. Yeah. Here's kind of a funny fact. Nick's a little older than myself, but we both started competing in the mid 1980s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? I should say, I'm sorry, competing. If I said competing, I meant lifting. We started lifting weights in the mid 1980s. You think that's a hell of a long time.
I started competing in 85.
Did you really?
Yeah. My first powerlifting meet was 1985.
Oh, fuck. Well, I didn't. I was a little behind you with the competing part of the equation.
I was Nevada state champion in 86. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I didn't actually
when
grow the fucking nuts to put my shit on the line for another fucking handful of years. You know, that's what it comes down to. You got to. It's fucking hard to break that barrier to compete the first time. You know.
yeah.
2004.
Say again, brother.
Started working out in 2004.
That's fucking crazy.
Wow.
2004,
Wow.
man. I was competing somewhere in Eastern Europe, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 2004 was the year I started strongman.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's fucking crazy. That's fucking crazy. Well, brother, you've just got this fucking monstrous physique. There's no question. We've talked a little bit about training. But there's no question. People got to be interested in what the hell you eat.
Oh, man. Yeah, for sure. Because, dude, I know I got to eat, but when I'm trying to gain weight, I got to eat about 8,000 calories a day. How much are you eating? It's got to be way more than that.
This is where I'm going to get in trouble.
Why are you going to get in trouble?
Because it's not going to make any sense.
Well, it goes, brother, it goes right along with you being a fucking genetic freak. I mean, Jesus Christ, you never get injured. You had abs before you even touched the fucking weight. I mean, you had your, what do you call it, your 9K peaks before you even got in the fucking gym, you know? So it makes sense, you know?
Yeah. So I eat 4 meals a day, and I'll have a post-workout carb shake, and I'll have a protein shake before bed. I can't get anything more than that. Even when I was 360, it was the same. If anything, if I try to bulk, what I try to do is I just try to make the meals bigger and up the carbs as much as possible every meal. But yeah, I can't do 5, 6, 7 meals like some of these guys, man. My appetite is just so horrible. You know, I'm the type of guy that it's like 5 o'clock, I'm about to eat meal number 2. You know, it's crazy. Yeah.
I know. Isn't it crazy, dude? I mean, I think about
number 4.
Dude, I mean, I think about the work that I put into my diet to do what I do, and it's like he just kind of fucking rolls over and you know, just kind of eats. And an average person eats 3 meals. He eats 1 more, and he's got this fucking physique. It's pretty goddamn amazing, you know.
I do 100 carbs post workout too. Don't get me wrong, and I do a protein shake before bed, but that's just with water. I don't do like the oatmeal and the banana. Now, if I'm trying to grow, I'll add that. But you know, right now, like I said, you know, I'm just chilling. You know, I'll throw a cheat in like every other day. You know, to try to keep my calories a little higher. You know, especially TRT mode. You know, like you don't want to shrink too much. So you know, I'll try to throw in a little more cheats here and there. You know, like 2 burgers or maybe even a pizza or something, wings, you know, something like that. You know what I mean? Try to keep the calories a little higher, you know, when you're just trying to maintain as much as possible.
Wow. So you're just that genetically gifted to heal that way off the nutrients that you take in.
I hate saying it too, man. I honestly just want to lie. You know, I want to lie. And I want to be like I do 6 meals a day because that's the only way you will get big. You know, I coach people, and you know, when people want to get big, if I told them 4 meals, dude, I would be seeing weight loss probably every week. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. Just because I do it doesn't work for you. You know, you got to eat. If you want to get big, you got to eat. You know what you got to do.
Yeah. No, sure. I'm aware. I've spent quite a bit of time with Brian Shaw and Eddie Hall.
I saw your video at the buffet.
Oh God, yeah.
Was that fucking crazy? You know,
I was miserable there.
I had breakfast with Brian Shaw actually when he was here. Him and Matt, manager Matt, and that is a big dude. That is a big dude. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, Gigantor. Yeah, he's a large human.
Well, you know, when he first came into the sport, he was like 310 pounds. I mean, he's put on close to 40 pounds since then, you know, and he's actually got a better body composition now than he did when he did at that point.
I'd like to see him do it.
That'd be crazy. You'd like to see him do a what?
A cut.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. But I mean, we can kind of see what that would do, because look at Thor right now. Thor is what, 320, 330 right now? He's shredded. Thor is absolutely shredded. I think it'd be pretty similar, though I think Brian's always been bigger than Thor, a little bit bigger than Thor. So I don't know if the cut would be quite as extreme. Plus, I don't think Brian's going to do boxing and would probably try to hold on to more of the muscle mass, where Thor is getting ready to fight Eddie.
Yeah, it's becoming more common where you get guys that they kind of finish off their strength career and they decide they want to take off a bunch of body fat and see how lean they can get. So it's becoming more of a trend for sure. Who knows what'll hold the future for Big Brian Shaw, you know?
Yeah, it would be interesting to see him just cut to 380.
Yeah.
I mean, 380, 370.
Craig, how tall are you?
6'3".
So let's just say that in good shape, you know, you're always with abs, but 330, you're pretty damn good shape at 330. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brian being what, 6'8", they put those two next to each other. Jesus Christ. If Brian is say 380, 375 and Big Craig is, 335, that would be a fucking pair to see those two posed down.
Scary. That'd be really scary.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be enough lighting on the stage for them. Just for the two of them. Just the whole stage would be black.
So go back to your diet. Tell us a little bit more about, you're eating 4 meals a day. What's the difference between when you're going up to 360 versus, bringing it back down to, 330 or whatever it is that the lowest I don't think you ever get any lower than about 325, 330, do you?
No, 320 I think was my lowest. Even TRT. When Corona happened, I'm pretty sure 90% of the world came, all as us bodybuilders came off. There's no gyms, so I went from like 360 only to 340, for 3 months of TRT. I was like, wow, I was expecting to drop like another 30, but no matter what, man, even when we're taking breaks, man, us as powerlifters and bodybuilders, let's be real, we're still eating, we're still training. We're still training, so, like the weight you do drop is just, from the supplements, because obviously we're probably not going to be eating 8,000 calories, but, we're still getting the meals and, we're still doing our best, so, if you do it right, you won't lose crazy, you won't go nuts,
So give us kind of a parallel difference. What 4 meals a day? That's kind of a steadfast. What's the difference between getting fucking huge, as you say, or getting a little tight, get more tightened up at that, 330-ish? What's the difference between the two versions of the diet?
If I want to lean it out a little bit, I'll just, chill. I'll relax on the cheat meals, and I might throw in cardio. That's it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, what's your cheat meal, for instance? What do you do for a cheat meal?
It's kind of weird, man. I got a few things to do. One might be 2 like large TV dinners from the grocery store. Like, you're crap.
You're fucking shitting.
Wow.
TV dinner. We're talking a fucking Hungry Man fucking TV dinner. Come on, baby. I remember seeing those commercials when I was a kid, man. The Hungry Man. Yeah, no shit, dude. You would be you could probably make a fucking grip from Hungry Man if you got a sponsorship, dude. Oh my God.
So 2 TV dinners. What type of TV dinners? Like Salisbury steak or what?
Yeah, Salisbury steak, or good guess, or the chicken Parmesan with spaghetti.
Oh yeah, that's pretty tasty too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are both pretty tasty.
Yeah. So that might be one. Another might be 2 chicken and bacon sandwiches from Wendy's or something, like the chicken sandwiches, those big ass ones. Just 2, like maybe a fry if I'm feeling it, but usually just 2 of those. Another one, maybe a large pepperoni pizza. I try to stay away from pizza as much as possible. A lot of fat, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, or maybe just 2 burgers. So I kind of switch it all up between all of that for my cheats, you know.
And you haven't really mentioned anything sweet. You don't have a sweet tooth, huh?
No sweet tooth. No.
Dude, that's my fucking problem. I was a fat little boy, man. I just have one bite. I have one bite of a fucking cookie, dude. I'll eat everybody else's cookie in the room. I'll get the fucking car keys and I'll be going to 7-Eleven to buy a whole bunch more. You know, the sugar addiction is fucking real. I'm a straight up fucking sugar addict, you know?
Wow.
Or
Dude,
just
that's tough when you're
go ahead.
competing.
What's that?
That must be really tough when you're competing.
Fuck yes, man. It's like, well, it's kind of that thing. It's almost like an alcoholic, you know? You're going to quit. You got to quit all the way. That's why I cannot have sugar. It's one of those things. You can't tell an alcoholic, yeah, just have one sip of my fucking beer here. Fuck, he'll be shithouse drunk 3 hours later. Well, that's just me with a cookie. That sugar in my mouth fucking triggers something. The little fat boy inside me stands up and says, cookies, fucking go, baby.
Cookies by far is my favorite dessert. If I had to pick one, it'd be cookies. I agree. I'm not a big ice cream. No, it's cookies for me. So yeah, I agree, man. Cookies would be my weakness too.
Same. I like to just take them and dump them in a bowl and then pour milk on it and eat them.
Oh my God. Chris, you're gonna make me go cheat after we're done here. Stop that, Nick.
The good part is Callie bakes them here. So she'll bake these
even
whole house
worse.
cookies that are
the smell of that unreal. The smell of cookies being baked is too much. I'd have to leave the house.
Oh yeah, it's perfect when you're trying to gain weight. Not so much when you're trying to get leaner. But yeah.
So, Craig, you're literally saying that you're basically just eating basically more nutritious food and not eating cheat meals, or in terms of it's really just kind of more higher calorie meals that don't have the same value. Is really what coming down to it. So it's a little bit of cardio and eating a little bit tighter, but still eating your 4 meals.
Yeah.
So what's in one of your regular meals? What's in one of your regular meals? Because people are going to ask that.
8 ounces of meat and 100 grams of carbs.
So what would be your carbs?
Usually white rice. White rice. Okay. Yeah. What about you?
Same. I eat so much white rice. It's not even funny.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, when I'm carving up for a show, that's exactly what I'm, because the white rice digests so fucking easily, and it's definitely, there's so many different variations of carbohydrates that will sit in your gut and give you kind of a bloated gut look. White rice, it just seems like it just disappears in your stomach,
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us your philosophy of bodybuilding, which is something I think is great, because the current generation has really lost sight of that. For you, bodybuilding is that fucking nasty V taper, as and what do you think about all of these, some now bodybuilders turned out to be, a lot of fucking thick midsections and bloated stomachs. You've stayed away from that your whole fucking career as a bodybuilder. Talk to us about that, brother.
That's the one thing I think, I can kind of hold down, like maybe even possibly history, is being one of the bigger guys with a smaller waist. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like, even when I was 360, I felt like my waist was still pretty tight, like I just don't understand like why a lot of these guys let their stomachs go, man. I never got it. Just chill. If it's HGH or Slim, relax on it. If it's too much food, chill, like, and if that's going to cause problem with your size, just accept it, because take for instance, let's just talk Olympia talk really quick. Okay. Yeah. Nick Walker, he got fit at Olympia. All right. I was like, how did he get fit? He should have had that guy fourth, Labrada. He should have had him, like I was confused. But if you look, the only thing that Labrada had on him was a smaller waist.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah. Dude. So it just really comes to show, and even Rami's got that tight waist. It just comes to show that they want those tight waists. And if you can't bring a tight waist in, figure it out. You know, if you're genetically fucked, then you're genetically fucked, you know, then maybe do a new sport. But
learn to pose around it or something, huh?
Yeah, they want the small waist, and you know, like if you don't have it, you know, you're not gonna do well. It's just something you got to kind of come into consideration with. That's what the IFBB are looking for. You know, they want the small, big back and the big legs. That's why Akim, you know, he's got that frame. You know, if he brings it in, it's out.
Yeah, totally.
Where is way?
he should be plugging in any time. Maybe I don't know. Maybe his plane got even more delayed. You know, he was just had a quick trip from he was in India not too long ago. He was just in Arizona, I believe. So he was supposed to be plugging in any time. He must have had a bigger delay.
I just had to turn down a sick offer to India. Really good paying gig, man. I couldn't do it, man, because my injury, bro, sucks, dude. I was like so sad, man. You know? Yeah.
Well, you know, here's the thing though, brother. You know, even though you have an injury and there is some atrophy, people don't see that. They don't see you the way you're harder on yourself. They don't see the atrophy like you do. That's just the nature of how we are. We're all kind of have that. What's that fucking term? That dysmorphia of how we think we look. You know,
anorexia.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. So one thing that I think we should definitely clear up, brother, because you're the perfect guy to talk about this. You're so fucking big. Generally speaking, especially in this younger generation, they think that's all fucking gear. And so you have been very responsible with your choice and your move, your path with PEDs. You know, talk a little bit about, you know, for the people that still don't believe that it's the training, it's the diet, it's the consistency, the most that makes a physique like yours. Tell the people that don't believe that so they can hear it come right from your fucking mouth. They need to fucking chill out with all the stupid shit with the PEDs and be responsible with their choices.
You know, that's kind of funny you mentioned that, man. Check this out. Just this morning, literally, just this morning, right? I had a client, all right? Hopefully he's not watching this, but I'm not going to say his name. He said, you know, he said, Craig, is it okay if I take 1,500 tests? He's 205 pounds. I'm like, bro, what?
Jesus.
What? Are you kidding me? I said, bro, no, dude, no. I don't think so, man. And that's just an example of my reaction is why I said that no, not need to take that much. Even if you're trying to get super huge, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're already 300, trying to go for 350, you don't need that much. If you do, obviously, you know, gear helps. Don't get me wrong, especially when you're trying to go that freak route. If you want me to, you need the gear to be a freak. That I will say, you know what I mean? If you want to be a true freak, a monster, there's no getting around it, but you know, you can do it right. You don't need to abuse it. Also, the food, and the training is what is the most important part. You're not eating, you're not training hard, and you're not doing the work, and you're not, and you're piece of shit, it's not going to happen, man. You got to do the work. There's no getting around it, man. All these people think they can just take a magic pill and all of a sudden, I'm huge. I don't think so, man. If you don't put the food in, you shit done, man. You're going to be living in a reality, man. It's you got to do the work.
You got to do the work. If you don't put the work in, you don't eat right. You ain't getting anywhere in life.
That's right. So for anybody listening that's you know thinking about making some irresponsible decisions, think twice. Do your diet, train, put in some real time. That's where what you're looking for is it's simply the equation of consistency. That's the biggest piece of the equation. You can't leave that piece of the equation out and get anywhere. And obviously, you being one of the biggest bodybuilders on the planet, for you to be saying that, that's going to be really helpful for people who think otherwise. So thank you, brother. You know,
absolutely. I speak the truth, man. It is what it is, man. A lot of these people don't understand, man. Like they go through my comments on my pictures, all roids, all steroids.
I know.
Yeah. What? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just what it comes down to. The internet can be a really helpful or hurtful tool. And, you know, unfortunately, you get these fucking people on message boards talking about what they did and saying it worked. And you got every fucking dipshit who doesn't know what they're doing, just, you know, trying crazy shit because somebody they don't even know, have any of the identity of who they are, said something stupid on a message board. And so, unfortunately, you know, that whole trend really needs to stop. So you speaking up, you know, people look at you and they think, just like your messages, they think that it's just using gear, but no, it's all the stuff that fucking goes into the whole formula of consistency that makes a guy look like you know? So that's good shit, brother. Thank you for clearing the air for any of you guys out there ready to make an irresponsible decision. Listen to Big Craig Golias. That's right.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah. How many years have you been training, speaking of which, brother?
Still 4.
What's that?
Since 2004.
We're talking, I don't know what I'm running a little low on the math right now.
17
Nick,
years.
yeah, thank you. I knew, Nick, you'd pulled that out before I could. Yeah, 17 years. That's fucking consistency right there, you know?
Oh, my God. The frightening thing is I've been training over twice that long.
Wow. Yeah.
It's been crazy? 39 years. But I've been training now for 39 years like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting bored. I know that I'm boarded up on 40 here before too long, but I know you're slightly ahead of me, you know? But you had the difference is you had the fucking stones to start competing early on. I didn't have that, you know?
Yeah, well,
Craig, what was that like for you trying to step on stage or compete for the first time? Was that hard for you to break that barrier?
I was excited, man. I was young, you know, I was like 23. I was just excited, man, to get on stage, and, you know, I loved it, man. But then I started, as I got a reality check and saw these, you know, new people coming in and they looked nuts, you know, I was just starting to be like, maybe this isn't for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, clearly you had what you had, even though, you know, you were declining offers early on, people could see that you had the genetics to go where you're going to go before you knew, you know?
Yeah. I feel like I'm better at being big than being shredded, you know, like that's my calling, just, you know, more of the off season look, you know, and it's a lot easier for me, you know, as far as eating and training and, you know, supplementation, and it just works for me. And honestly, I'm more of one of those guys. I've always been more into like watching like off-season bodybuilder YouTube. You know, like I've never really been into the shredded, freaky look as much as like the massive bulk look. You know, like I've always been more of a fan of that look anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of that same way too. It wasn't until I came to bodybuilding where I had to start adapting, you know, my vision of what was going to be, what I needed to look like, you know?
Yeah.
You can be big and in great shape, but that doesn't do you shit under all those fucking lights. You could be the best looking guy on the fucking beach and get your ass kicked on the stage. You got to look sick on the beach to do fucking well on the stage, you know?
So,
So, brother, you've done so much with the impact of what you've done on the industry. Let's pretend that you could jump in a time machine and you could go back, you know, basically 17 years to where you were just starting to train. What advice would you give yourself?
Take competing more serious. You know, maybe I could have did something with it more. Definitely would have started YouTube a lot. I should have started YouTube a long time ago. I didn't. So I would have probably started that too, because there's a lot of money in YouTube, you know. And you know, maybe choice of women.
Well, what's wrong with your choice of women, brother?
I take these ones, man. The bigger the problems.
You think that's where the problems are basically sitting in the tits? You think that's where it is? The bigger that there's more problems in the big tit women, you know?
Tonight, man, that's my weakness.
So if you find a chick you don't think the problems are maybe in her ass or anywhere else, they're all in the tits?
Well, the ass too, man. And you can't forget the ass. The ass.
I was going to say, because every girl I see you has got an equally big round set of tits and ass. You know,
I call it the combo. You got to have the combo, the tits and the ass, you know?
The combo. That's it. Supersize me, baby. Supersize the combo.
More mass, more ass.
I love it, dude. That's fucking good shit. So is it just literally the stereotype of what you like? Those females tend to just bring more baggage. Is that what it is?
I don't know, man. I was just being funny, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah, you got to understand, you know, if you see a girl, you know, with a crazy body, usually, you know, they got some shit going on probably, you know, like with self-esteem or they're just crazy in general. You know what I mean? Because like if you do that to your body, you usually want attention to, you know what I mean, bro. You know, like you don't really see a girl with big ass and big boobs and they're like, everything's perfect. Life is great. The rest doesn't really exist.
Yeah, there's some sort of drama that's attached to their world that usually has something to do with those monster ass and butt cheeks.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah. Just like the old saying, tits and ass, man. You know, tits and ass equals problems.
Bro, they're not lying.
I love it. That's fucking good shit. So I know you've got your clothing, you've got your training. What else are you working on? What's Big Craig Golias doing in the future?
I'd like to get YouTube rolling, man. I dude, honestly, I really enjoy watching YouTube. You know, I watch all kinds of stuff you never even think. You know, I watch bodybuilding, powerlifting, even like some fitness dudes. Like, dude, I might even watch C-Bum here and there. You know, like and I'm not into that stuff, but you know, I just love watching, you know, day in the lives. I love it. I love seeing a bodybuilder or a powerlifter or even some, you know, classic guy, whatever. You know, I just like seeing what their daily routines are like. You know, I enjoy it. So I'd like to get in that mix too and show the world, you know, like a typical day of Craig Golias, you know.
Well, brother, I mean, you are straight up fucking. I mean, you are legendary status. I mean, everybody is. If they don't know your name, just about everybody's seen your fucking picture, because you know some of the pictures you have floating around out on the fucking internet are just crazy. Most people think you Photoshop pictures, but I can attest, you know, that's not the case. You know, for someone that's seen you in person realizes there's no need to Photoshop.
Yeah, you know, man, you gotta understand though, man, I do kind of abuse the angles sometimes, you know, but I come out and I admit it, you know, I'm being funny, you know, if you can look huge in a picture, look huge, you know, if that's what your thing is, you know. So I kind of tend to doing this, you know, putting the arm out, you know, fucking out angling and but you know, it's just all in fun, man, you know.
Yeah, but you get together with the guys, you gotta do that.
That's it.
You get the group of them around there. You all got out of each other.
That's it.
What's the point otherwise?
We're to live by.
That's it. Well, you know, I'm telling you, brother, you know, Akim, who's not here, we're hoping he was going to pop in, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it. He literally, at the beginning of his bodybuilding journey, everybody knew, he was telling me everybody in his work knew he wanted to bodybuild. And so somebody brought a picture of you and said, you want to do this? And he said, yes, you know, and Ox, one of your favorite bodybuilders. That's pretty fucking inspiring and pretty fucking, that's legendary shit right there. You know, you got a guy who's in the top of the bodybuilding world, saw a picture of you and was like, yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to look like. So, you know, You've got a lot of fucking punching power with these fucking crazy pictures floating around out in the world, brother. There's no question about that. You know, I mean, there's you hands down. There's no one that can argue that pictures of you on the internet have just people look at them and they don't understand. They don't believe until they see you in person. You know, which kind of puts us to our. You know, we're going to kind of wrap things up here. We've taken a lot of your time, but more importantly, it's been a lot of fucking fun. What I talk to the viewers about when you're gone, you made a huge impact. You know, you've legendary status and you're not even 40 years old, for Christ's sake. What is it that you want to leave behind when you're gone? What is Big Craig Golias going to remember for?
What I'd like to leave behind, man, is a couple things that, you know, you could push your body, you could push your body to a crazy limit and still be, you know, somewhat healthy. And, you know, that, you know, I just pushed the boundaries as much as possible. And, you know, I did some pretty crazy off-season shit, you know, and also that, you know, you could still have a personality and be goofy and be big. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a lot of people, they look at a big dude and they're like, oh, he's mean. But, you know, if you look at my shit, you know, I'm just a huge goofball. So, you know, I always try to bring a little comedy to the mix, make people laugh. You know, I think like the world is, you know, people are too stuck up and, you know, they feel like, you know, well, he's this age and he's acting like a goofball. He should be, you know, stop being so immature. But I disagree, man. You know what I mean? I think we need more laughter in this world, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's too uptight, too serious. You know, if I could go fuck with a little Asian guy at Walmart and make everyone's day, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, if I could do something, go through a drive-through and ask him what's going to get me huge, you know, like Starbucks. So stupid, but if it makes people laugh, it's all worth it for my embarrassment, you know?
Yeah, no, that's really cool, brother, because most people don't have the confidence to be silly. You know, sometimes it's hard for people to kind of step outside their comfort zone and create a situation where people are going to laugh. And you've got a fucking PhD in that one, my brother.
I tried. Thank you.
I love it. Well, we're about ready to wrap this baby up. Nick, you got anything for Big Craig?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on and doing this. And please go get an MRI and get that looked at, man. Get that taken care of. There's no reason why you can't get back to 100%.
Absolutely, man. I will, man. And next time you're in Vegas, man, let's all go grab a meal or something, you know, catch up.
Well, okay. Yeah. So like in an hour?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be there in February. So we'll definitely hook up. I know, Craig, we're for sure talking about getting the training in and some filming, but we'll do some shit for your up and coming YouTube channel, you know?
Yeah. And all three of us.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just too much mass, man. Too much mass in one video.
It'll be good. It'll be a good video. You just got to get a wide angle lens.
That's it. To get all three of us in there at once. That's right. I mean, fuck, if you, Nick, if you and I are standing behind Big Craig, we're not even going to be fucking seen. Christ.
I know. It's like training with Brian.
I love it. That's it. Exactly. Well, thank you again, Big Dog. Thank you for coming on, Big Craig Golias. This is another episode of Legends of Iron. We're here to inspire you. We're here to help you understand the different pathways to be the best version of yourself. Until next time, we will see you then.
Legends of Iron is brought to you by MuscleMeds, the creator of Nitro Tests. Nitro Test is hands down the most fucking kick-ass pre-workout on the market. If you fucking want some, come fucking get some. Can you handle it?